Yep.
So.
I'm ready when you are.
Ready?
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm Kyle Amerlin Crane.
I'm Kyle, the Fun Cannon Crane.
And so we've got on the couch.
I am Shockwave.
I am Airwaves.
They're not mic'd, but Lady Kestrel and Lady Cyndaquil over there.
All right.
So this is co-op, so we're going to be connecting through LAN the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
And one important thing is when both of our games are paused, the timer pauses.
All right. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Haha, right.
Trying to cheat already?
Come on, man.
The muscle memory from when I load in is just too strong.
Right. So if you've played this game before, you're realizing that we're not actually playing the intro. That is because that is actually solo only. And both the intro and the outro of the game actually get completely skipped in the co-op run. One of the biggest things that actually makes it faster. So as well, we're actually splitting up the early part of this run. He's heading to the main story objective, and I'm grabbing something important for later.
So the first piece of tech you're going to see is that anytime either player runs out of stamina, they're going to kick, because that gives them back all of their stamina.
That corner sucks sometimes.
All right. Give me a second. You're too fast, man.
I'm getting it down.
All right, so one of the big co-op mechanics there is the game lets you warp back to your co-op partner if you hold B, and that is very important because it actually lets us split up.
Yeah, if we didn't have that, co-op would just not worth be running at all because there are times when we're on opposite sides of the map from each other.
And now we're actually switching roles. I'm doing the main thing while he's grabbing a couple important things for later. He's getting something for speed boosters, which will be really nice, as well as the same care package that I just got. That actually gives experience when you turn it into the quartermaster, and we might end up with a little more of them than we're supposed to. Don't worry about it.
No, it's fine all the time. So I managed to step out a little bit. It's something I can do when I teleport him. You'll see that he is dressed appropriately. He's got the yellow shirt and the flashlight on his shoulder. I'm dressed the same. The co-op run doesn't differentiate between the two players. We are essentially the same person for all intents and purposes.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And throughout the first part of this run, you're going to see us get those phone calls every once in a while. They're just acquired story things that kind of give backstory.
Yeah, we're currently working for an organization as kind of a double agent, but kind of not.
Yeah, and we also are a zombie already, but not. So
yeah,
just don't worry about it.
Well, like, our screen will occasionally turn green, and he'll hold his hands in front of his face, but it's not important.
And you guys did vote for the French language. Keep in mind, it is the fastest language, but the voice acting is absolutely terrible. So, enjoy.
Much love to the French restream, but, like, French Crane is so bad.
All right.
It's really bad.
So now we're going to actually start duping.
Yeah, so this duping thing, it's slightly complicated now thanks to a patch they introduced recently, but they're basically going to multiply a stack of items repeatedly and then transfer that number to other items. So you can see they'll put their mouse cursor over a certain stack of items which has a high number, and then they're going to pull up that menu so they get that number of items that they're going to transfer over. In between, there's a couple frames window they can move over to a different stack of items, and then they can move that item back over and then now basically duplicate the item. So you'll see now they have 8,000 duct tape because, yeah, now they have 16,000. So now they're going to put everything back into the storage, open the menu to get 16,000 into that quantity menu, and then pull over any other item that they want to duplicate to that number. So now they have 16,000 of literally anything they want.
And they can start this from anything.
Yeah, they need to have a stack of 2 or higher.
All right, that's 4 mess-ups for me. I'm donating every time I screw one of these up because it's actually hard off-host. My frame window is a little bit different than on-host.
And you'll see me sitting in my menu here just because the game actually is timed through in-game time, and when the game actually pauses, in-game time doesn't actually run. So
I forgot I had to craft that. I got to do one more. All right.
So right now we're not actually losing any time.
Promise this is easier than it looks. There we go.
All right.
Cool. All right, so that's always the stressful part of the run for me because I have to dupe a lot more. I have to, I have 2 or 3 extra things beyond Fun Cannon because I have to dupe stuff for the speed boosters that we get later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they got that supply. Each of them got a supply drop earlier. As I said, that turning that in gets XP. They're going to each drop one of these right now, and they're going to dupe them again later. But they're going to turn them in to maximize or to max their survivor rank on their tree. It unlocks a bunch of more skills. They'll get extra potion abilities, and eventually they're going to get the bottom skill on there is the grapple hook. That's going to severely break it in terms of now, because you're not supposed to have the grapple hook at all right now. So they're going to go ahead and buy the grapple hook, and now they've just unlocked a huge movement option right there, and they're going to re-grab their supply package for later. So they can dupe it again for more XP.
And another side effect of that is that we have access to really late game weapons, so we are very, very much stronger than we're supposed to be right now.
Yeah, they just bought a shotgun right there, which can basically one-shot anything in the game. So they're super powered for like the entire run.
I forgot to keep aiming. Luckily, there's a cutscene here, so it doesn't really matter.
I'll let this go while you do yours. And then...
Go ahead. This will give me more time, actually.
All right, so I'm crafting 2 sets of 5 speed boosters here. I'm going to drop 1 set of 5 for him, and that will give him just 5 speed boosters for this initial part, which is all we're going to need until I dupe a bunch later.
And an important thing about the speed booster is that it is something that makes it so you don't run out of stamina at all, and you run faster as well, so it's very, very important to run.
Oh, that's not right. There we go. Okay, so now we wait, and now we have a grappling hook, and I just broke my legs. Great. Off to a good start.
Sure, it's fine.
I'm stuck on something.
All right, and the grappling hook actually has a lot of tech with it. If you crouch while you're using the grappling hook, it cuts your grappling hook right there. So if you get a bad grapple or anything else like that, it lets you save yourself. You also have to do the opposite of what I just did there and not use your grappling hook too much, or you'll run out.
Yeah. And the final part is that you can hook zombies with it, which is bad, and it kills your grapple immediately. So like I can, you know, hook a zombie and it'll just cancel it. And that kind of sucks when it happens.
Another big thing that we're going to be grabbing along the way in a couple of these spots are agility flags. Level 5 agility gives us a big speed boost in terms of skills, so it's important for us to grab a couple of these along the way when it's fast.
All right. Come on, Crane. What are you doing?
Crane, please.
There are some corners in this game that are really badly collisioned, so you can just kind of climb into them and they have no way to climb out. So I'm running to this first area. There's some bad guys here. They're really dangerous and they might kill me. I actually do have to be careful. I wasn't kidding. They can get up after I shoot them and kill me.
Even with their missing heads or limbs or anything else like that.
The game does not expect you to do enough damage at this point to be able to do anything to them. So it doesn't really know how to deal with you actually killing them.
So I'm fist fighting a zombie here. Takes a while to kill him. Keep that in mind for later, much later in the run, because that'll become important.
Alright, and this is where the game's kind of introducing the night mechanic, which they're much harder zombies at night, and luckily because we are so overpowered at this point, it doesn't really affect us too much.
Yeah. Once you get a grappling hook, the night stops becoming dangerous because it takes zombies a while to climb up buildings, and if you can just grapple to the top of a really tall one, they're not a problem.
Really quickly, we're just running back to the tower.
He is. I'm, you know.
I mean, what did that plant do to you?
Listen, it knows what it did.
Why you gotta be so mean to the plant?
Deserves it.
Absolutely does.
So sad.
But one important thing is I can buffer in a B input when he wants me to teleport him, so it saves a little bit of time here and there.
You'll notice, just in general, most cutscenes are skippable in this. You can either mash through text or just hold space, and that makes a big difference. There are plenty, though, that are not skippable in any way.
Which is not fun. There are a couple that are a little gory, so if you're squeamish, we'll give you a little bit of a warning. And this is a horror block, so
you know what you signed up for.
Right. But
All right, so we're going to split up again. He's actually going to do a lot more duping. Meanwhile, I'm going to run to the next section of the game where we're meeting the main antagonist. You won't actually see him, but we are meeting him, I promise.
So Emerlin's going to dupe the supply packages again to get more XP, and then he's going to max out his legend level. A legend level is sort of like an endgame thing. After you max out a certain tree, you can get experience to buff other general skills like stamina, health, fist fighting, something like that. So he's going to just dupe a bunch of supply packages, turn them in, and just max out his legend level and get a bunch of extra stat bonuses.
Yeah, so it's if you've played Diablo 3, it's a lot like the Paragon levels in that, where it encourages endgame play beyond actually finishing the game. So I'm just getting better at punching, running. My heart is getting stronger. I'm getting better at stopping my bleeding. And then I'm going to get better at gun.
Very important skills.
Yeah. I got to gun harder.
Exactly.
Gun better, dude.
Do gun better.
Yeah, do gun. I'm going to do gun much better.
All right, real quick. These guys are nice enough to leave the window open for me, maybe.
Il veut passer un marché. Le genre qu'on passe avec Rice.
There we go.
Larbin.
So this saves just a little bit of time on the trigger here. So I can hit the trigger that's behind the NPC waiting there without actually having to have him move.
Oh, that's right, my keybinds get messed up after I dupe again. We both have a pretty consistent setup we use for our items, and whenever anything gets transferred out of our inventory, it always takes a second to get back to that. There it is.
This guy real quick. Watch him teleport around a little bit.
Yeah, for some reason they didn't really think about the fact that co-op was going to be in this, so off-host
Je viens de rencontrer Karim.
doesn't really know what it's doing when characters get skipped. It is funny though. There's one cutscene where a guy will literally just teleport like 20 feet straight backwards and then forward again, because he's supposed to walk around doing that.
And we've got a bit of another phone call here. There's not too much to say, so we're just going to throw it over to donations.
All right, we have a donation of $200. It comes from a grunt who says, I usually try to slip this in during a Mega Man block, but since my pal Airwaves is on the couch this year, I figured I would donate during the Fun Cannon and Emerlin's run. Keep up the great work, guys. And that was also split between your donation choices, so congratulations. We also have Afterlife Killer with a $25 donation who says, I just want to give a huge shout out to Fun Cannon. Without him, I would never have gotten into speedrunning in general. He also got me into the Borderlands 2 community where I made many friends, including Amy. And then he says, love you guys, flanked by hearts.
Aww.
Je dois faire quoi exactement?
Thanks, Afterlife.
Alright. I'm actually going to split off from him again, grab a couple more flags, because it's going to pretty much put me at level 5 as fast as I can. Meanwhile, he's just going to be running to the first antenna tower that he has to climb.
Yeah, this one isn't the most fun. There are a ton of enemies around me. And I'm going to try to get in here without killing any of them. So this is a little iffy, but whatever. So I'm going to use what I got earlier, which was firecrackers, and throw one right there, open this door, and hopefully nothing attacks me. Throw another one, because that one ran out. Turn this on, and then throw a third. And that should distract everything, or I'll just blow myself up. Okay.
Whichever.
Great plan.
Well,
Alright, well, I made it.
it's very easy for him to die there. It's probably one of the biggest run killers for us, especially because I have to really book it to this next area.
Bye.
I've got both a side quest to grab, and I need to get to the second tower before he's really done with all of this.
Oh, merde, Karim.
So I got it done. I almost missed the zip line there. Thankfully, if you hold space, you can just reattach to him. And I'm going to go back to Rise here while FC climbs the other tower.
So this is that side quest I was talking about. We're actually going to use it for warping later. There's just a mechanic within this game. And that's actually one of the more important ones that we grab through the run.
Karim, est-ce que tu ferais la deuxième tour d'antenne et la clôture est électrifiée? Je crois qu'il y a quelqu'un à l'intérieur.
Another thing to notice with the the towers is that we can grapple on a good portion of them. We're really not supposed to have the grappling hook at this point, and the game, it shows it because the later towers actually do have grappling basically disabled and make you climb them. Well, it's much, much faster on the earlier ones.
So I'm setting up for my one major contribution to this community. I found this accidentally. So when he turns out on that transmitter, I can teleport him to me, and it's faster in game time if we go inside, turn around, come back out, and then go back in, because it just completes the objective. Ordinarily, we had to wait about 10 or 15 seconds for a dialogue there. So, the beginning of this game is kind of a little bit slow and starts to pick up when we start
Mid towards the end game, it gets much, much faster.
doing silly things like going out of bounds and
There's a lot of
breaking everything.
As if holding 16,000 duct tape wasn't breaking.
Listen, he's got deep pockets.
We've been over this. He duped his pockets.
He duped cargo pants.
Yeah,
He duped cargo pants, then duped the pockets on those.
exactly. So if I actually mash fast enough, Crane just blacks out and completes the dialogue.
All right, so we're actually going to have another phone call coming up, so another great time for donations for the next little bit.
Great. I have a couple to read here. First of all, Crash donated $10 and said, "So I don't have an awful lot to give, but I figured I should give it anyway. My mom was diagnosed with ovarian cancer earlier this year. She's already had partial treatment, including a full hysterectomy and chemotherapy. She seems to be on the recovery, so that's good to hear. Keep doing what you do to raise money for this cause. Thank you." And thank you very much for your generosity, Crash. Even if you don't have a lot to give, no worries. Our donation total, while impressive, is made up of thousands of small contributions like yours. And now I will do what I can to raise a little bit more money for us. Here's a $100 donation from Ashilf, and says, "Hello, GDQ, Ashilf here. Great to see this event still going strong. Been watching since SGDQ 2014, and boy has it grown. Not a speedrunner myself, but I enjoy watching. Lost so many weeks just to watching players optimize their runs. I'll donate another $100 if the reader can pronounce my name right." Okay, so good luck to me there on Ashilf. Thank you.
Right. This is our friend Jafar. We threatened to break his legs. Then he pays us.
He's cool about it.
Basically doing
Oh.
extortion
All right.
for the
I fell a little bit.
for Rise.
Just normal everyday stuff.
Yeah. Don't you extort money for a notorious warlord every day? It's pretty
Hey
normal.
man, I accidentally got too many grappling hooks.
Yeah.
All right.
There we go. All right, so this is the first quest warp. If you just change to a side quest and save quit, you go to a default location for that point. It will actually work with the main quest as well, but it's never really useful. So I'm just going to wait in my menu for him to rejoin me.
This does take a second, even on LAN.
Je fais des courses pour Rice. Et il est très puissant et tout le monde accorde au lui.
Now, we're heading on to meet one of our good friends. He just wants a hug.
He's that uncle that you like don't really want you to hug you, but you're like whatever, give him a hug anyway.
T'as oublié que j'étais infecté?
One little thing worth noting is that they're using the speed boosters. They can't stack them or use one until the previous one has gone away.
I'm going to cut you in a
Yeah.
second. If you are squeamish to any gore or anything, look away now for like
Yeah.
the next 10 seconds.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
This is
absolutely.
one of those scenes.
Here, don't worry, I'll throw some grappling hooks at him.
Now you've made him mad.
Well,
give me a hug.
oh well.
Yeah, so a little iffy, but
For those of you who are squeamish, you can look now. You can look back now.
Apparently that's what happens when you throw, 16,000 grappling hooks at someone.
so that's a bomber, not a boomer. There's a difference.
That was last game.
Yeah, exactly. This is not Left 4 Dead.
Tu plaisantes?
So, we're headed to this village. It's to collect more
J'ai vu personne,
extortion money.
À part des zombies.
That's
Ow.
a thing we're doing right now.
I like how every time I break my legs, the game is like, hey, you should try not doing
Karim,
that.
je suis à l'extérieur du village, mais ça grouille d'infectés.
Luckily, our very strong weapons make very quick work of everything here. So, once all the zombies are dead, He has to close that door.
Faut que je referme la porte avant qu'il y en ait d'autres qui entrent.
And we get to threaten a couple more people, especially from outside.
Y a
Yeah.
quelqu'un?
I'm knocking on the wall, just
Allez,
yelling
je
at him.
commence. J'ai l'impression que l'argent est le cadet de tes soucis.
I mean, why would you use the door?
Karim, j'ai
I don't need a
l'argent de
door.
Bourcel.
You can close through
Walls are
anything.
about as good as doors are in this game.
Not wrong.
So we have to kind of wait on the dialogue here to get to a certain point before we can even do anything where we're going.
So even if we make a couple movement mistakes, it doesn't matter for this point.
One little detail is that if you're underwater, you do actually move very slightly slower when you grapple.
Yep. It's not much, and we rarely ever grapple underwater anyway, so...
Encore? Mais on vient de vous donner de l'argent. Ouais, mais tu le fais pas.
Right.
Bah ouais.
French crane, man.
Karim,
Oh,
j'ai
God.
récupéré l'argent de
It's a
Barthélémy.
treat.
Et je suis quasiment
We're
sûr
actually
que
going to
je
use
vais
this
l'avoir.
guy to kind of tell us when we can save quit. So his name will pop up.
I appreciate the French community, but the voice actor in French just really phoned it in for this one.
Everybody but Jade. Let's be real.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Even the main enemy, like the main antagonist of the game, just does not sound threatening. So,
But Charity.
but Charity and French is technically the fastest language.
That is true.
Sadly.
Not every day can we have Telemundo Crane.
That's true. Spanish is objectively the best language for this game because
It really
Crane's
is.
voice is like 8 octaves deep.
It
He
is.
sounds so good.
So
Pas encore, une
he
seconde.
found that guy, and I'm going to be running back to Rise.
He had like a
He really likes
envelope-
Raspberry Jam.
Yeah, an envelope or something with him, and took a little nap.
Donc, d'après ce que j'ai compris, Rice n'a pas beaucoup d'amis dans le coin.
So while I'm waiting for FC to finish, I can just kind of dork around, running around. Climbing stuff actually does slightly give me experience, so I try to climb a couple of things just here and there. And there we go.
Non, j'espère pas.
And now, probably the hardest trick in the run. I don't know if we're going to get this.
Yeah, there's like a 90% chance we're gonna miss this. I
But we
think
kind of have to anyways.
Yeah.
We have to at least go for it.
we've gotten it like twice in months of running.
So he's going to throw a grenade here. We're both going to kind of stand on it. I'm going to get completely knocked off, so no. What would normally happen is if we both stayed on the train car there, we would actually get the call to start, and then this side quest that we're grabbing right now would actually completely skip the dialogue. But we need this side quest regardless, so going for it
Qu'est-ce qui
is
s'est passé?
pretty much worth it, even though that Death Warp is absolutely like 3 or 4 times as hard as it is in solo.
Yeah, it's ridiculously hard to hit. It would save about a minute if we got it right, but
On the bright side, now they can try and show off a bit of a silly thing with the animations in this game.
Because we fell off, I don't think we can do that one actually. Nope.
yeah, so I have to get all the way there. If we both had stayed on it, it would have recognized us both as being there.
There we go.
So only one of us would have been required to trigger
So,
it.
since we missed it, we've got plenty of time for donations
Ici Crane.
through the rest of this.
All right, here goes. We received a $50 donation from Farty Crouch Jr., who says, second year watching, first time donating. I lost 3 grandparents to cancer, and understatement, it sucks. Well done, all runners. You're doing a great job kicking cancer's butt. Keep up the heckin' good work, Taylor. You're doing so great, and the group chat is proud of you. Message is signed Juliana and Brian.
Thanks, Juliana.
Si ce fichier peut sauver le monde, pourquoi il doit rester secret?
Also have $20 here from Brian Otto, who says, hi, Fun Ganon. Hi, Prolix. Much love to both of you. Look forward to learning more about this game. Love the grapple movement. Thanks for doing what you do, TFC. And he says, fun cheers, which appears to be an emote. And P.S. Prolix, you're the best. Oh, thank you.
All right.
Now, Prolix, was that actually in there, or did you just add that?
P.S. is postscript or Prolix script, one of the two. I don't know.
Maybe both.
All right. So that was me delivering my other supply drops, so I can now get
Forgot where
my
I was
legend
going.
levels. And then we're just going to go up and get another phone call, unfortunately. This one we can skip consistently, though.
Yeah, as long as we do the right thing, this skip is consistent, which is a weird way of saying we get it every time.
Exactly.
mean, now that you've said
No,
that,
it's,
If we miss it, I'm gonna be really sad.
got ahead of myself.
Je vais
Distracted
enfin
me, man. You
pouvoir
started
faire
running up
quelque
the
chose
stairs,
de
and I was like,
Okay.
oh, stairs time. Ugh. So I have to. One of my things is I have to be a really good gauge of whether I'm far away enough to teleport. I'm gonna get up on the tower.
Sure.
also that ramp right there is the hardest thing in the game.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it, but it's ridiculously hard.
But I have to be a really good judge of whether to teleport to him or run to him because it only saves a small amount of time either way.
So we're going to be setting up a trick here where we're both going to die on top of the trigger. And that's going to make the game think that when one of us goes back up to hit it again, that we both hit it. And so I can be in a different location. And that will let us skip it through grabbing side quests.
The trigger for that call to happen is literally the entire roof. Let's see, I just missed the ramp jump again.
I'm telling you, man, it's the real final boss.
It is pretty hard. So I'm going to get the call right here. He's going to start the quest, and I'm just going to teleport away.
And once he actually
Ici
starts
Crane,
talking,
qu'est-ce qui se passe?
Tu veux essayer?
we can skip all of that. I'm going to quickly try to get some of my legend levels done.
And as soon as Jade starts talking to us, I'm going to talk to this guy. And something weird about him is that, so throughout the run, only one of us has had to skip dialogue so far. This guy, halfway through, just cuts it out and gives it to the other person. So,
Ok.
talk to Jade, and then FC's going to have to skip the last line.
Yeah, for whatever reason. We don't know. And then we're going to quickly warp back to gassed up.
Alright, so here an interesting bug happens. Because of that death warp, it doesn't have my progression properly tracked. So I'm now forever at that quest, and every time we quit, it's going to try to put me back there. So this takes just a little bit longer to load back in, but Trulan is pretty nice.
La vache!
Lavash.
Lavash. Crane says something every time you load in after this on every language, and there are only a couple where they're actually good.
In English, doesn't he just scream?
No, he says a swear word, which is naughty.
Oh yeah, I remember.
All right.
We're good and pure here.
Exactly.
Oh,
You didn't take damage, so it's fine.
I wasn't looking at it, so it was okay.
That's right. Well, now we're going to school. We need to learn a few things about zombies.
Je suis entré.
Specifically that if you shoot them, they die.
This is easily one of the best areas, movement-wise, in the entire run. It's really fast-paced.
Really tight corridors, all the fun stuff.
On peut pas passer par
The
là.
way. Just Firecat go like horizontal through that window.
It
The
works,
animations for the other person just don't look right like any time ever.
Yeah,
So you'll see a lot of animations that just,
especially dropkick.
Especially dropkick.
especially drop kicks.
So I'm going to show off something fun. This guy, invincible until he stands up. So there were a couple runs where I shot him, he stood up and proceeded to hit me in the back of the head and killed me.
And at this point, we're basically trying to look for a temporary zombie cure-ish thing. It's like one of the most valuable things in this universe.
And Rise controls most of it because of course he does.
Because plot.
How could it be a warlord without it?
Yeah. You know, you got your guns, you got your men, you got your zombie cure.
Oh, good shot. It's one of the big reasons we look for a shotgun in making our save files, because it is absolutely overpowered even without the
Enfin, j'ai pas encore
legend
fini de la
levels.
classer.
Le sous-sol est énorme. Cherche la clé, je te retrouve la
So you'll notice I always put away my gun when I run. It doesn't have any effect on your movement, I'm pretty sure. It just, I like it that way because it feels better. There's a boomer behind me, but I'm just ignoring it, and it didn't kill me. Great.
One of my favorite things in that entire segment is just that one of them picks up the key, and through the magic of being the same person, they both have it.
We are the same person.
true.
Exactly.
These enemies are required to kill, and then we can just kind of get out.
And also note, so collision between both of them, and then also friendly fire does not exist. They cannot shoot each other.
Though I can vault off of him,
Yes.
because I don't know.
This game is great at being consistent.
Yeah. I mean, can't you do parkour off your own self?
I do that
No.
every day.
Every day.
Wait, is that not how you get out of bed, FC?
No?
You're doing it wrong.
Apparently. Alright, so quickly back to the tower.
Pas d'antisine.
At this point, we're going to meet a guy that we were supposed to meet in the intro, but we didn't meet him. So his name is Raheem. He'll last
10 minutes?
something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wow, spoilers.
Here's the thing, though. I really like Raheem. Like, all of the characters besides Crane in this game are really well written. Crane is just... He has trouble deciding his motivation, and it really kills, like, any sense of attachment that you have to him.
On the other hand, as he said, all the other characters are pretty great.
Yeah. Jade, especially, is one of the greater ones.
Ok, à plus
So
tard.
if I go fast enough there, I can try to run off the edge, and I've never managed to make it.
You gotta go fast, man.
If you've
Yeah.
never managed to make it, how do you know you can actually do it?
Because
Vous
well,
auriez une minute?
hush.
On m'a dit que l'intendant devrait pouvoir...
Alright. And save quitting here actually gets us back downstairs a little bit faster. And this next section is actually one of the only time-specific things in the run, so I'm actually going to open my menu to check what time it is. Alright,
Plenty of time.
plenty. Each minute in-game is about a second, so I've got about 29 seconds to get to the next thing, including talking to the core master here.
Que puis-je faire pour toi?
T'inquiète pas pour moi.
So
merci.
I have to book it. Meanwhile, he's just going to be running to the next area after that.
They have about 25 seconds to get to this enemy.
Yeah, it's a little less than 1-to-1 on the seconds.
And also, this enemy only spawns at night.
Yeah.
So they definitely need to get here, otherwise they lose a bunch of time.
But we are good.
Doc, ça y est. J'ai des boyaux de zombies pour toi.
Nice and easy.
And then here I'm actually going to delay my save quit a little bit because it apparently just makes the dialogue skip coming up more consistent. Hopefully I didn't go too early. We'll find out.
I think it was fine.
I mean, as I said, this game is great at making sense. It's so consistent.
Also, it just stops searching for games after a certain point. So if I try to join too early, it's just like, well, nobody's playing on LAN.
All right, we got it, so we're good. Otherwise, I would
Michael, tu
be able
m'entends?
to get there like 10 or 15 seconds early.
Je pars chercher
Meanwhile, it's,
Raïm.
the objective I'm going to is already active instead. So it's a
Non,
really big
on va
dialogue
régler
skip
son parti perso
that I
d'ennemi.
don't know why it
Ils
works,
sont
but it
dans le
does.
train.
So we're trying to find Raheem, and we're supposed to look through this entire
C'est
like
pas bon ça.
Oh, that guy
train
also had
station.
jelly.
T'es où?
But Raheem is actually just right through this door.
J'ai trouvé des cadavres.
Doc,
dans
I
le
think they
pontier.
need more peanut
Take a
butter.
break,
Une trace
real
de
quick.
Raïm.
Ride the bus.
Too many
Il
sandwiches.
dit d'aller se cacher à la gare de Trial.
Exactly.
Normal passenger.
All right, cool. Hey, audience, are you here, by the way? Hello? Hi. All right. We're going to have a little fun with this. So there's competitions in the story mode they're required to do. Can I get this half of the room to cheer for Fun Cannon and this half of the room to cheer for Emerald? Can we do that? Cool.
Awesome.
There's a prompt on screen, and we'll count you in.
This is the challenge.
Yeah. This is a difficult enemy that we have to kill.
All right, cool. Ready?
All right.
3, 2, 1.
We both lose.
Oh.
Oh.
So
Don't worry, you'll get your chance later.
There are real ones, we promise.
yeah. So because we killed that enemy too early, the game's like, well, there are no enemies left, and neither of you killed anything, so you both lose.
De retour à la surface.
Game's pretty rude.
Yeah.
Extremely. Here he's actually just going to sit and wait because there are really only two things that we need to do in this room, in this building. And even if he got to the second one instantly after I placed the first one, it would still be slower to get out of
Yeah.
this area. So
Hey, Amy, what's that thing up in the sky?
You know, that's a grapple point. Don't worry about it. It'll never be relevant ever.
absolutely
I'm
not.
sure.
Absolutely not.
Je l'ai.
All right, let's go hide in our corner of bodies.
Oh, hello.
So
We just kind of
grapple the air, and then grapple the ground. Now we're out of bounds.
And that's a good indication of how simple it is at times to get out of bounds in this game.
now we're back
Come on.
inbounds.
It is
All right, I am in limbo, so I need some help.
I got you, man.
I don't think I've ever seen that happen.
No,
It definitely happens.
the game does not like you going back inbounds after you've been out of bounds. So sometimes just like, hey, you're gonna wait here for a
Actually,
little
that's a
bit.
good point. It might be harder to get back in bounds in Dying Light than it is to get out of bounds.
It's really, really easy to get back inbounds. It's just sometimes it doesn't like you doing that.
Well, to be fair, it's also very, very easy to get out of bounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some times where you can just climb out of bounds.
Yep.
Not
Which
any inputs other than just forward.
Really good programming.
it's like really easy for a casual player to do that too, which is pretty funny. And there's a couple places where it is actually useful to do that. All right.
All right.
Avash.
So this is kind of the point where things are starting to go not so well for us in the story. Our doctor friend Zera has been kidnapped. Rise has pretty much figured out who we are by this point, and just things are not good in general.
Yeah.
Merde, Brecken. Zéré a
Really
été
quickly, I'm
kidnappé.
going to run in
Caravane
here
est en feu.
for a dialogue skip. We've got a quest right here.
Vous n'auriez jamais dû aller à l'école.
Yeah. B.
Qu'est-ce qu'ils font D'accord.
And then once the quest actually updates, we can warp. But since it takes a couple seconds, we're both going to get more ammo. Okay, we're good. And gassed up. So we're going to be infiltrating Rise's garrison. It's no longer a safe zone for us. And we're going in through the top rather than just the front door like we would have before.
It's like Santa Claus. We're gonna leave presents for him.
In some ways, yes, we are Santa Claus. Never thought I would say that.
Yeah.
But here we are.
Cal Crane, aka Santa Claus. Oh god. Yeah, so fire hurts a little bit in this game, and if you wind up standing in it, it drains your health really quick. I know that's kind of a silly thing to say because fire should hurt you in every game, but it hurts a lot more in this game.
Note that we are playing on the easiest difficulty. With how quickly we can still be killed by enemies, I have never actually played on Nightmare, and I'm not sure I want to.
So there's a clip here that used to save only 1 second. And if FC gets it, it will save more than 1 second. Because it's the new stuff.
It's very weirdly inconsistent.
This part is actually kind of the harder part.
Oh, come on.
You just kind of like jump at this wall and eventually just go through the window.
I've seen
Hopefully
them
we
get
both
this
get it.
first try
There we
plenty
go.
of times. I've seen it take
There we go.
Hey,
a long time.
So we're going to save the second plus all the time we're going to save from FC going out of bounds here.
If I actually get it in time.
If he gets it.
Un type du nom de Zéré. Il travaille sur un vaccin.
This one
et
is
près du
pretty
but.
tricky.
J'ai vu ses notes.
Probably the hardest
Vous rasez la ville.
side hop clip in the game.
Je ne vois pas trop comment un scientifique tout seul dans une ville ravagée pourrait trouver un vaccin et... Bon. Vous avez 48 heures.
It is worth noting that all this attempting isn't really losing time.
Yeah, because so the 1 second saved is I open the door from the other side, and then I can just leave.
Merde, c'est cassé.
Alright, I'm gonna give it one more try.
Tête en forçant.
If I don't get it this time, we'll just follow you. Nah. Okay, that's completely fine. It really only saves about 5-10 seconds.
Yeah, he just activates a trigger further on to spawn some enemies. But with co-op, he's able to go through the door that I opened before I finish opening it. So, slight bit of time save.
I would have ended up right here through the end of the clip.
Just
but
hooked that
I
guy.
hooked that guy right in the buttocks.
Ça a l'air vide.
he'll be fine.
Il y a un sous-sol. C'est peut-être la clé.
Remember, ignore the door. I can handle that.
You got it.
Okay, this area is actually very dangerous.
Extremely.
These enemies can kill them very quickly, and there are a lot of things that can blow up and kill them very quickly. They may be strong, but so are the enemies here.
See, I got shot twice there. Lost almost all my health. Just a good chunk. Alright, that was really clean.
Yeah,
Nice.
Nicely done.
good job. So, coming up next is the Pit. The Pit is probably remembered by casual players as a really, really difficult section of this game. It it is, in my opinion, when I played it, unreasonably hard. Because what Rise does is he takes away all of your weapons, all of your armor, everything you have, and you have to kill a bunch of zombies with just your fists. And you'll remember from earlier in the game, when I was fist fighting a zombie, that we're not very strong. But in between then and now, Crane has decided to get swole.
What was it? 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 10 kilometers a day, every day.
Yeah, 100 crunches, I think, too.
Yeah, something like that.
It's been a while.
And he's balding because of it, something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he also just like shoots his own men, but like that's sure.
Yeah, this is also how ineffective Rise is as a villain in other terms, is that he has you right in front of him and just is like, hey, let's watch Crane kill some zombies instead of just killing you.
Also, audience, are you still here? Woo! Guess what? It's your turn to chip into the run again.
This one's real, we promise.
This one is not a fake out. Don't worry about it.
So this is an actual competition.
Same deal.
All right, get ready. 3, 2, 1, go.
Go.
Come on, Emerlin, you're losing.
Listen,
Lose
come
some
on,
ground.
catch up.
Come on, Emerlin's winning. He's got
Oh.
no, it's dope. He's tied. Oath can get the last ones. Emerlin takes the lead at the last second. Come on. This is actually a lot closer than normal.
Yeah, this is really close.
Oh,
No!
Fun Cannon's the winner.
Fun Cannon wins.
Good job.
You got 2 more later.
Good job, crowd.
So that's one of 3 forced competitions throughout the run. Another one's coming up in like 30 seconds, and then there's another one a little bit later in the game. So guys, I promise I'm going to do better for you. Thank you.
So this is actually an introduction to a very annoying enemy type called a Demolisher. They charge you, they have a bunch of armor, and
They're pretty hard to kill.
The strat used to be lure him into some spikes and kill them, but
now he's
Alright.
dead.
that was it.
Man, I thought those things were supposed to be hard.
So
They were.
running zombies are also technically meant to be harder. They have a little more health than other ones, and they dodge pretty easily. But with the Fist of Fury, you just run up to them and
Also, this is the Caesars we were talking about at one point. The sign that the Anizen that's in our system, since we're infected, is wearing off. And wearing off fast.
because again, reminder, Crane has been bitten by a zombie and is slowly turning into one.
And here, he is giving us a nice little present, a med kit.
Yeah, ignoring the 16,000 we had earlier.
Maybe he stole it from us.
All right, get ready, crowd. 1, go.
I think I vaulted you.
Probably.
Well, they're about tied right now. This climb could actually prove for one of them to fall. There's a lot of rebars over here.
no.
There we go.
Oh, there you go. Emerlin slipped.
Listen,
Oh, he's not
Amy-
that far behind. He can
Amy,
still
I
make
thought you
this
said
up.
you were going to do better.
I am doing better.
Yep.
RNG can still make this go
That
poorly.
is true.
There's still plenty of parts that Fun Cannon could just fall out.
This is
Come on, let's get some more hype in here. There's a
Let's
race.
go.
It's a race.
That jump right there is my least favorite because the rebar sticking up out of the ground is just horrifically coded, and it's, well, I mean, it's meant to prevent you from going out of bounds, but I don't like that.
Ooh.
Tried to grab the ledge there, but it didn't work.
Should I go for risky strats?
Go for it.
Go
Do
for
it.
You may as well.
Got it.
Oh, you got it.
Hey.
He saved a little bit of time. He's making up some ground. Except for he doesn't have legs right now, apparently. He's just going to jump everywhere.
Well, it's faster to jump through water than it is to sprint.
Oop.
But that's
Oh,
it.
Fun Cannon won the second one. No worry, you can still redeem yourself later.
As long
We
as
have
you
one
get
more competition.
Oops.
Oh, wait.
There we go.
All right, there we go.
You got one more chance.
Yeah.
I believe.
And I'm pretty good at the third challenge, so
It's true.
I'm talking a big game.
yeah.
So the game takes away our sprinting completely at this point. It's supposed to be this long-winded, like, walking section, but instead we're just channeling Castlevania, OOT, whichever you want, and back hopping between them.
Yeah, there's an ability that if you press space in a direction, you dodge in that direction. And they neglected to realize that doing that through here is incredibly fast.
You do have to dodge zombies and other obstacles while we can't see them, though. Sometimes you just kind of plow them down.
To be fair, this is pretty low on the list of things they could have remembered.
You know, that's right.
All right, now's a great time for donations.
Shock, what are hands?
So Daniel-san sent in a $10 donation here and says, the Fun Cannon is who got me into watching speedrunning with his amazing Borderlands 2 runs. I lost my cousin last month at an early age to liver cancer, so this event is very important to me, and I'm glad to see us gamers and everyone at GDQ come together to make a difference. Money to Runner's Choice. And Amy, do I see a postscript here? I think it said PS. Like, the Fun Cannon is so much better at these competitions than Amy.
Shots.
Wow.
I'm detecting some shade here.
Then we also have $40 from Shaky Bone. Shaky Bone says, had to donate for one of my favorite games that I played with my grandfather. Yes, I swear this donation came in during this run. Shaky Bone has a cool grandfather. Thank you to everybody at AGDQ for everything you guys do. Let's save the frames, kill the cancer. Thanks, Shaky Bone.
Yo, I wanted to play Dying Light with my grandpa. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Kidding. All right, so in terms of plot at this point, we're running away from Rise, and this group that we're going to now is fabled to get us out of this part of the city and into a different part of the city. And they do, but at a certain cost.
Yeah. This is Chank or Cool Shirt Guy, because that's a pretty cool shirt. I like the logo on it. You know, it's the small things in this game. He just shuts the door in your face.
What a rude dude.
I know.
He thinks this cool shirt just makes him all high and mighty.
Yeah. Oh, also we cut off Rise's hand.
Yeah, that was one of the cutscenes we skipped. Minor plot point, you know.
Side note?
Nah, it's whatever.
Later in the game, Rise just doesn't have a hand. And
That'll kind of come into play at one of these unskippable cutscenes. So, now we have the sewers. Oh boy. They're probably the hardest part of this run in terms of movement and the amount of clips that we do.
yeah, it's really easy to go out of bounds in the sewer, and it's equally easy to accidentally get back inbounds in the sewer.
Since we are just going to be running to it, though, we have plenty of time for another donation or two.
So we've had some donations.
Yeah, that happens.
Sorry, continue.
Oh, no problem. Gravity takes priority here. Yes.
I'm not sure what that was.
So we've had donations toward our runners, toward yours truly. Here's another one. It's from Iztrick for $150. I hope this isn't a trick. Sorry. Okay, this is my second year watching AGDQ. Thanks to all the runners, attendees, and those behind the scenes who have made this event possible, especially Jacob P. Let's save those seconds and lives. So there you go, Jacob, whoever you are. Someone out there loves you.
J'ai retrouvé 5.
So this save quit that we're doing right now is actually just to warp the NBC that we have to deal with forward, because he is the slowest escort mission that exists anywhere. I promise he's so slow.
But I thought escort missions were the best part of games.
No.
They are. They're great. I love them. So I said earlier that you could buffer a B input. You actually can't do that here when you're loading in. So I kind of have to judge it right. There we go.
Okay. So I'm just going to quickly side hop clip through this really quick.
What are
Clean,
fences?
nice.
There we go.
Yeah, that was,
Oh, it gets better.
it's not done yet. There's going to be more of this.
There's a lot of out of bounds in
Kind
here.
of grapple there, and you just kind of climb through that grate.
Yep.
It works.
This is just kind of this game.
Hit a couple triggers there to make sure this area doesn't soft lock. Hit 2 of them there.
If I step too far to my left here, I go back inbounds, which is why I've been really careful
Hello?
about that.
That was weird. Right, there's another trigger that I had to hit,
Go up here.
I believe.
So this is out of bounds, even though it doesn't look like it. Oh well, never mind.
Well, you were saying?
I think I actually missed one of the triggers.
Oh, and there's water there.
Yeah. So I'm a lot
I just have to go backwards a
further
little
on
bit.
in the sewers, but if I grapple down to here, now I'm back inbounds where I want to be.
Crane, work with me, buddy.
Okay, so I climb up to here. There we go.
I actually have the death warp here, I think. Missed the trigger to spawn a zombie, which is very important. It does not work without it.
Yeah. So meanwhile, I'm just setting up for, you know, a little further on. This courtyard is the next major trigger we go through.
Okay. Then, right. That's a grenade. That's probably
Wait.
fine. Okay.
I mean, it's whatever. You have like 16,000 of them.
Well, it's more just don't want to
Ow.
kill myself. Get down. Crane is not paying attention. All right, there we go. Definitely worked that time.
Crane seems a little distracted today.
A little bit.
Yeah, this is the part of the run where the most can go wrong.
There we go.
Just because, like, these out of bounds are so finicky.
That was not right either.
Oh,
Okay.
man, easy every time.
First try.
First try.
First try, every try.
Yeah. If no one knows, no one can tell you different.
And this is kind of the point where you realize that you're being betrayed, that they're selling you out 2 Rise.
Plot twists.
Now, if you do this next section right, I can actually skip the swimming section here, but it's a very, very hard grapple. No, did not get it.
Oh yeah, the best swimming motion, by the way, in the game. You just raise your hands, you swim faster.
So
Feel free to join in.
it's faster to hold C and swim against the ground. And if you look down, Crane does this motion.
Gotta raise the water out of the way.
Yeah, dude.
All right, cool.
So as soon as he survives this ambush, I can start moving again. Because it's difficult ambush, by the way.
I don't know where he is. Okay.
Ooh, 360 no scope, dude.
All right.
That was
God.
that was terrifying.
So I have to...
Still didn't give you
Yeah,
the
so I
dialogue.
have to actually wait here for a dialogue now. That should be it. There we go.
Bonsoir, ici Crane.
Comment ça va, Crane?
So I go in here, grab all the way up to the top,
Des sauveurs. Mon
and there we go.
Nice.
Nice.
Bande d'enfoirés, c'est ça.
Sewers.
Hey, if that's the worst this run goes, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, if that's the worst thing that happens, we did pretty good.
Well, who needs legs?
Yeah.
Vous me recevez?
I mean, clearly you don't. You can just move with your grappling
Vous
hook.
me recevez?
Oh,
Oui, oui,
Good.
bonsoir.
dang it. Just gonna fall there.
Je suis dans le secteur 0. Jade est avec vous?
One big note is that even though we can teleport to each other, we tend to both go to these places.
Va bien?
A, to have a backup in case someone accidentally falls or anything else like that, and B, it is actually faster if we go at the exact same time and get there, because you don't have to wait for the warp animation.
Yeah, it saves a couple seconds on warping every time. It's not like the worst thing in the world if we don't make it, because he also spawns in a couple seconds before me, and so he has the couple seconds of movement, which, as you can kind of tell by this game, is pretty large.
That was a hard fall for no reason. That just kind of
happens.
Yep, just kind of happens.
Excuse-moi, je cherche
yeah.
une nana appelée Jade Aldemir. Jade,
Now, the best NPC in the game
Yeah.
t'es là?
kind of stares at us for a couple seconds,
like
and
he's
then
been-
asks what's going on.
Spent a bit too much time outside. There's a little bit of sunburn, you know.
Ouais, ok, je vais voir.
And now we go right back to where we just were. It would be really convenient if we could leave one person there and one person just go to the other place, but didn't work out that way.
This tower is will become important later as an object of
Pourquoi?
hatred for a little bit.
Ce qui se passe là, dehors. Faut que tu vois ça de tes propres yeux. Reviens vite, c'est important.
Alright. Then There's another side quest that we need for warping later. And then we are on to more sewers.
Yep.
Everybody's favorite.
These sewers aren't as fun. You can't go out of bounds in these.
They've tried a lot.
Yeah, we spent about 30 minutes one day literally just looking for out of bounds in one section of the map and couldn't get it. So that's
Well, we're
not
not there yet. But
Yeah. That's not saying it's not impossible. It's just
We haven't found one.
yeah.
you're a little ahead of yourself. But to blow up the ovens first.
Oh yeah, right. I mean, you know, whatever.
Close enough.
All right, so there's out of bounds here. My bad. There's not out of bounds later.
All right, meeting our friend Michael. And the basic plan is we're writing a message to the ministry who have taken over the people that we were originally working for. And they're just trying to bomb the city completely, even though there are still living people and not just all zombies.
Oh yeah, they just clipped through a fence again. Don't worry about it.
It's ridiculously easy to do.
It's just, yeah, this.
You kind of get up on a fence and then look at it and then side hop through it.
Fences just don't exist.
Yeah.
And I grapple into this room to actually skip the Caesar animation.
The Caesar.
Look, man. No bully.
No bully.
Man, I think that guy's trying to cosplay his friend. He's got that nice yellow shirt. He just needs a flashlight.
Yeah.
All right.
So there's a bit of a complicated out of bounds here. I'm gonna go for it. It'll only save a couple seconds if I actually do get it. So if I miss it, it's not the worst thing. But FC is gonna also go for it because it will help us skip a cutscene of a baby.
First, we will have to do the most coordinated part of this run because we have to try to skip a seizure at the exact same time. Otherwise, whoever misses it has to climb all the way up this elevator shaft because, surprise, surprise, a broken down elevator stops working.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
So this is Party Body. He's just hanging out.
Ready?
Oh, he actually got out of the way. Great.
There you go. Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
I'm gonna go ahead and climb instead of grapple. Good job, Crane.
I at least got it, so good.
Ouais, pour l'instant.
Really?
As long as one of us gets this, it's not the
Michael, je suis au
worst,
10e étage.
but it is definitely better when both of us do.
106, 134 et 137.
There we go.
Gonna throw a couple firecrackers to distract the zombies in here. Then we're setting the walkie-talkie bombs.
Première part.
So I can't grapple until I get out of this hole because when you have a seizure, you can't use a grappling hook.
It's a known fact.
Yeah.
Voilà, le deuxième appart.
Trying to go out of bounds right here. And actually, I heard the zombie spawn already, so I missed my timing on it. Whatever. I'll leave him alone.
Michael,
Well,
ça va?
please. Out of my way. Oh, that's a boomer. Yeah, I'm dead.
I
That's
can
a
get
bomber.
you.
I mean a bomber, not a boomer.
Maybe. Oh, hang on. Just blow up already. Thank you. Nope. Not search that.
There we go.
Save the friend. Alright. So I actually got it.
There you go.
Nicely
Nice.
done.
So that's the out of bounds I was going for.
That's a lot
Way-
harder than it looks.
Way harder than that looked. So that skipped the cutscene with a kid that you can actually hear crying.
Ok,
But
c'est fini.
I'm now kind of stuck in this room as well.
Good, this elevator opened. We were doing practice and this elevator door wasn't open and I had to figure out a way into here.
It was very strange.
Yeah, so this is Party Body. He's hanging out in the elevator.
I also kind of have to wait for Michael to
Michael, ça va?
Die.
get through all of his... Look, man, you spoiled it.
Everyone dies in this game.
Hey, Amy.
What?
Why don't you try and push that body to the other side of the elevator?
Casse-toi d'ici et retourne voir Troy. Tout de suite. Laisse le détonateur où il est.
So you actually can't kick him because he doesn't have collision.
Oh, that's a shame.
But you can like run into him with your body, and the floor.
We just
Yeah.
kind of slide through the floor. Oops. It's because we skipped the baby cutscene. I don't know why, but it does, so.
Yeah, if we could somehow get that body over to that side, all the cutscenes are rendered in worlds, so you could actually have that body just sitting there.
Yep. Just turn around and look, and he's still there.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Just kind of ignore them. They're a lot more threatening than they really look. A
Other
lot
way
less.
around.
Other way around.
I can words, I swear.
Yeah, words. Easy.
Alright.
Grapple. Hello.
You can words better than the voice actors.
Okay, that's not a high bar to...
Good point.
Yeah. So another thing is we could be creating competitions through here, as you can see, but we decide not to because it's slower. It makes us stop and wait.
J'ai le détonateur.
It's kind of one of those useless out of bounds that I just did there. You can just climb.
I mean, hey, swag strats.
No, it's only swag if it's slower and loses time.
Well, it
Or
lost time,
slower
so-
but looks cool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now the level design is going to change a little bit. As we mentioned, they weren't supposed to have the grappling hook as early as they did. So now some areas of the level are going to be restricted for grappling hooks because the game now expects you to have the grappling hook at this point. So they'll have to take slightly different routes than they want to take just because the game's like, no, you can't grapple here.
Yeah. So I do a little bit of a quest skip there. I find a poster that promotes a challenge, and that quest dialogue skips everything else in the quest we were looking at. So Jade, who we have never met, is called the Scorpion in-game, and she has been captured. So we're gonna go to the museum and find out what happened to her.
Closest quest being Rupert the Gunsmith.
It's worth noting that if you had been watching all the cutscenes, it would be very clear that Crane has quite an interest in Jade romantically.
Yeah.
But if we actually did this game with all the cutscenes, I believe it'd be like an extra 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really long.
Ridiculous. So, got the museum over this way. And note that you can grapple towards the ground to save yourself from getting a hard fall, because going faster is safer.
Yeah, very, very just cause-ish.
Just kind of burst into the room, yell at him, ask him what's going on.
He looks very scared.
Extremely.
All in front of his kid, by the way.
Très probablement et sûrement.
Flash a light in his face a few times. Oh, got stuck on the door.
I did too, actually.
Mais si
Alright,
tu devais le tuer,
then once
je
that
te
actually
comprendrais.
switches, which it did, we can save quit. Which, if you didn't get enough swimming earlier, you're about to get a lot more of it.
Yeah, it's the worst part of the game.
Clinic's pretty close.
Clinic is bad, but at least you can, like, mess around there.
Fair.
Clinic is bad for very different reasons.
Yeah.
We're also going to be kind of channeling our inner Assassin's Creed here. Just walk off the edge here, land on the garbage.
Easy.
Just fine.
Nothing sharp in garbage ever.
Oh, definitely not. No metal, no
Yeah.
needles, no nothing.
It's actually because you do that jump, I don't spawn on top of the tower, I spawn down here.
Nice.
So I'm trying to get agility level 5 here, just by vaulting over these zombies. It gives me a lot of experience.
Boing.
And night is going to start soon, which will double the experience I get, so I can get it a little bit faster.
There's a minor little out of bounds here. I'd say it's probably about 5 seconds. Got it. Very nice.
Nice.
There we go. So what I was saying earlier, this is the part where we've been looking for out of bounds for quite a while and haven't found any. If we had them, we'd save easily a minute, probably more.
Probably. You'd still have to hit the triggers because this game is very, very rigid with those, but we'd probably still be able to find some way past it all.
We're just swimming along.
So great time for donations here.
Yeah.
All right, so speaking of the voice acting, as we were earlier, StabF sent in $40 and said, not sure if anyone has pointed this out yet, but Levac, what Crane says in French, literally translates to the cow. So thanks. That's all I'm going to think about when playing Dying Light now.
Yep.
Also have a $30 donation that's sent in from Utsu. Thank you, Utsu. They say, hey, FC, Amy, and Prolix. Good to see this hilariously fun-to-watch run at a GDQ. My grandfather had cancer in his 60s, but because of funding to charities like this, he was able to receive immediate treatment. Put my money to Shockwave's choice. So Pop Quiz Shockwave, the donation people.
I will get back to you on that. I am not prepared for that.
Break more witches, all collectibles.
I'll get back to you on it.
And
Wow.
one more here, just to up the stakes a little bit on our competitions. $20 from Das Holy Fork, who says, been watching Games Done Quick for a few years. Thanks to all the runners and staff that make such an amazing event possible. Girder, go fast. P.S. This run is amazing. That was their P.S., I swear. Another 20 if Amerlin takes the third challenge.
Yes.
I just drop-kicked a door accidentally, so it's not looking too good for me.
There you go.
FC, you gotta throw for charity.
That's no fun.
You're
What's more
right.
important, pride or $20?
I gotta work for it.
That's true.
All right.
You probably wouldn't donate if FC just threw.
It's another kind of scary fight.
Yeah, because we gun very good, but they also gun very good.
It's basically a glass cannon versus a glass cannon.
Yeah.
Are you sure it's not a fun cannon?
Oh my god.
Ooh.
No, I'm just stop.
I'm sorry, I had to.
So if I lift this shutter for him, and he goes through it and then runs away really fast, I take the seizure for both of us, and he doesn't get it at all.
Taking one for the team.
Yeah.
It's important.
I like those competitions. Sorry, too
The
soon?
BM.
I mean, I live with him. I have to deal with this later. So that's true.
This is one of the biggest reasons why we level up Vault. You can just kind of jump over all the zombies in this section.
It used to be a problem for me to hit level 4, which is why I routed in those flags. And
These zombies are actually stronger than normal, but if I throw grenades and or things, they can get cleared up pretty quick.
should be it.
The only problem is you can't tell when a lot of these are dead because they're markers on the
Remember, let me open the door.
on the actual map don't appear. So every once in a while they'll just be laying on the ground, not dead, but you can't tell.
So this is Jade, our love interest. She's very well written. I actually really like her character throughout the game.
Honestly, she's probably the best written character.
Yeah,
Probably.
in equal combination with Rise, who for all his posturing is actually pretty cool.
He has a lot of. He had a huge potential as a villain.
Yeah.
Also, audience, you still here? All right, start warming up. The competition's coming up.
Last one.
Last one.
Can you redeem yourself for $20?
You better.
I'll do it. I believe.
Hold up, I'll give you a little quick shoulder massage.
If you don't, just know that if you don't pull this off, you're gonna have to live with that.
I'll have to live with the fact that I lost all 3 competitions.
Not only that, but you lost $20 for
get
charity.
ready?
I took away my firing.
3, 2, 1, go! Emerald's starting off super strong. It's already got 10 kills versus Fun Cannon's 4.
That was
Destroyed!
so fast.
Fun Cannon!
Well done.
So I actually have a little bit of advantage there. The zombies spawn closer to me, but forget I said that. I totally crushed that one.
Hey, no, it's okay. FC had an advantage in competition too.
That's fair.
That's right.
It's even.
So there's some clever bookending here. They never focus on it directly, but you can actually see a bite on Jade's leg right there. She got bit as in fact infected, and Rise has the biggest throw in the game.
Left-handed because we cut off his right hand.
And
Also, you managed to grab it and also not pull the trigger at the same time, so...
and there's a needle, so... Everyone in this universe is just really good at baseball.
Yeah, dude.
We've got time for a donation or two.
Yeah, here's White Scythel with a $40 donation. Says, with the recent scare of my father having both kidney cancer and prostate cancer, and with him coming back kicking, now is a great chance to make sure loved ones can get the help they need by donating. Thank you. We also have a donation from Xenogeist of $100. Says, AGDQ is always a blast to watch. Thank you to the organizers and runners for always making this event great and for supporting such a worthy cause.
So I'm going to hop in real quick. Anyone who might suffer from motion sickness, if you've made it this far through the run, you definitely want to look right now.
Basically, if you played the Far Cry 3 hallucination sections, we're going to do that.
Yeah, it's quite something.
Once we actually open that door and get to this part, we can actually use a speed booster. Makes it much faster than trying to side hop through this, which
Used to be the strategy for a long time.
Yeah, blind side hops and back hops through this was, it was a thing.
Yeah, and it's not like the other one where there was a map to kind of guide you. This one's just
Pure muscle memory.
good luck, hope you remember.
it's kind of the throwbacks of all the things you've done in the game so far.
All those things that you guys never saw.
Also, lens flare.
Lots of lens flare.
Lens flare.
Yeah.
Because motion.
Yeah.
This is the process where we're supposedly becoming a zombie. And Jade is right there next to us doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Apparently zombies are really introspective.
I mean, if I had to, think about my life this much, just start biting
weird.
people.
That's not okay.
Whatever.
No. Let me get up there. Okay.
Well, Emily could catch up and beat you, even though it's irrelevant.
It's not even a competition at this point.
Everything's a competition.
I mean, yeah, everything's competition.
Can get a little bit of boost on this moving part if you run at the right time. It's pretty minor.
I've never been up there when it moves, so I didn't know what to do. Because he always beats me through here.
All right. Speed boost to run out, but it's not really worth it to get another one because the end of it is right here, more or less.
And we're going to give the other warning for the other scene here. If you hate really tense moments or basically a zombie right in your face, look away for probably the next, 45 seconds.
Yeah.
It's a little bit further from here.
It's
but
like 2 or 3 minutes from now.
yeah.
But just get ready or so.
Be ready, because it's,
If you just like gore, we'll tell you when to look away. I mean, this one is questionable too, but
yeah.
But we can throw it to donations for at least a little bit.
All right, here is a donation of $40 from Flemlazoid, who says, "Hey there, AGDQ. Been watching for several years now. I've lost count, and I always look forward to these events. Can't donate as much this year. Houses and babies are expensive, but I'll always squeeze a bit for you guys. Have a great week and good game." Well, if you just sell some of those houses, there'll be plenty for charity. But, never mind. We've also been receiving a lot of donations in memoriam for loved ones, memories of loved ones. I'll touch on more of them later, but just this one from Anonymous, $10. They said, "Thank you, AGDQ, for this great event. This donation is in memory of my father who died at 57 years old to esophageal cancer on January 11th, 2016. It's also in memory of my girlfriend who died at 27 years old to leukemia on February 3rd, 2017. I love them both and miss them terribly. I hope that my little donation can help someone. Thank you all."
This is the cutscene, by the way. Again, look away for the next 30 seconds if you don't like spoilers.
Yeah.
Things.
Those poor guys.
yeah.
Oh yeah, there's this missing hand, by the way.
So Jade is turning into a zombie here.
Because she gave us the Anism.
Yeah. So, we really gotta. It's very sad. It's very dramatic. Gotta pour one out for her. Rest in peace, Jade.
Cutscene is over, by the way.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can,
you can look
back now.
again.
Yeah.
And if you weren't looking, welcome. You missed things.
Jade's got some speed potions.
Yeah. Jade's going fast.
Oh, this is a boss, by the way.
Yep.
All right.
Well,
That
was.
was a boss.
There's supposed to be a bunch of other enemies too, but all you have to kill is him.
Oi, c'est Crane.
So they give you his machete there. Neither of us need it, so we just drop it instantly.
They also took away all of our things, even though there's no reason they would have been able to. I don't know.
Vraiment, Crane.
Call him a shame there.
Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé?
Elle m'a
Yeah.
sauvé. À nouveau,
Right into it.
elle a donné sa vie pour me sauver.
Crane, tu dois encore
Also,
arrêter le mystère.
kind of put yourself into the shoes of the two enemies we're about to come up on. Two men side hopping at them
Who are
with their fists
identical.
bared.
Two identical men side hopping at them.
Je te donne un amplificateur avec
Just run up on him.
I would have ran. I don't know about you.
Listen, I would be out of there.
Same.
à mi-chemin de l'antenne sur laquelle tu devras installer l'ampli.
Ok, Troy, j'y vais.
And here's all our stuff back. Maybe.
Hello?
That is new.
What?
Can we leave?
Do we?
Okay.
That has definitely never happened before.
Hey, there you go.
Nope. That's just me searching a guy.
Save quit?
Try it.
Did we miss a trigger?
I didn't think there were
I
triggers
didn't
for
think there
that.
were triggers in that one.
I've never missed them before.
I thought the speedrunning tutorial live was tomorrow with Strider. Not me.
That was harsh. Wow.
All right. So run back all the jokes we said. Listen.
Oh non.
So yeah, just imagine being in these people's shoes.
Oh, it takes me forever to load in.
Elle m'a sauvé.
Tu vas voir, ça va te
À nouveau.
forger le caractère.
Elle a donné sa vie pour me sauver.
And also, you can't side hop too fast or Crane will jump. So we kind of have to have a little rhythm between the side hop clicks. It is nice that they did not make us go through the whole Jade part again.
Oui, mais on doit bien.
Yeah, that would have been bad.
Il faut que je te donne un amplificateur avec lequel sa vie avait percé le brouillage.
Okay, there we go.
Je t'attends dans la
They're
zone
really good at dodging
à
in this
mi-chemin
game,
de
and
l'antenne
it's
sur
kind of
laquelle tu
annoying.
devras installer
He
l'ampli.
learned from previous mistakes.
We might have killed the guys too fast because I don't think we
guess.
got that dialogue.
Wow, you guys
Hey, you
went
got your stuff back.
There we go.
Hey! This is
Starting
what
it
you
again.
get for going too fast.
Yeah, I think it was that we killed the guys too fast because I didn't hear the dialogue.
I guess.
That's literally never happened.
Okay.
Nice achievement, by the way.
Thanks.
Have you played this game before?
No.
Back to fan zone.
No, they're just really good at blind runs.
It's only actually achievement progress, even worse. All right. This part is just a little bit of movement, so
Yeah.
another donation or two, it's perfectly fine.
All right. We have a comment here from a Dirk who sent in $50 for the Prevent Cancer Foundation and said, I lost my grandfather to cancer 6 years ago, and he was a huge source of encouragement and inspiration. I have to donate during Dying Light because I love seeing one of my favorite games horribly
J'ai
abused.
récupéré des échantillons de tissu. Je vais vous les apporter. Mais j'ai une mission importante avant.
And an anonymous $40 donation says, I love that you guys are doing this. 4 people in my extended family have had cancer before. One lost the battle. Let's kill cancer.
I almost just clipped into something stupid.
I guess it wouldn't have been the worst thing. Okay, that weird thing happened again. For whatever reason, sometimes Crane will just not grab the ledge.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
It's a slightly worse problem a little bit later in the game.
Alors, je
He
l'espère.
just wants to spice
À
it up.
bientôt, Troy.
All right. So, got more sewers, believe it or not.
Thankfully not.
Not nearly as
Yeah,
bad.
Not as bad.
But we do actually get to split up again soon as well. I know you've been missing that one.
I know. I can't stand to be away.
All right. That.
Okay.
What?
Interesting.
Cray, do you know what a floor is?
I don't think Crane
Something
knows
you
what
can go
anything
through.
is.
I mean,
Crane sees things and Crane just goes straight through them.
You guys
It's his
have seen-
favorite thing.
The grappling hook is buggy to say the least.
Yeah, just a little bit. When we were doing the calls earlier, you can grapple hook during that, and Crane's feet will lift off the ground, and he'll just kind of hang there for a little while.
Yeah, unfortunately, we didn't get to show it off, but it's pretty great.
This is another out of bounds we were talking about. This one, I'm actually not sure how this one got past. The QA. I mean, I love QA testers, but
to be fair, this one is semi-precise.
okay, that's true. But we're out of bounds.
You just like grab the
for a
top of the
second.
ledge and just go through the wall. It's sure.
Yep, there we go.
Cool.
So a couple triggers that we do have to hit by going this route. Or else we can't
Nice save.
go the rest of the way. But
Oh no.
get in there. Okay. So spawning those zombies is the trigger that we needed.
All right.
So we're perfectly fine now. He's going to go over the map and get to the exit, probably before me. Though I'm not too far behind, actually. And yes, he did hit it from behind.
Yep.
Oh, and it suddenly becomes day there.
Crane just phases through the door and then opens it.
And funny enough, we actually aim for the shallow end there because it stops our momentum faster. We don't go as deep into the water. Great diving etiquette.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So coming up as the broadcast station, I have to be really, really precise with my grapples or we lose a few seconds. There's a specific pattern I use to get across the water and then up the hill. And if I mess it up, we're going to have to wait.
Merde, encore ces enfoirés.
And, man, finally, we actually get the key card. Even though it was first try.
Oh, I messed it up. Dang it.
That key card is always in the same place. So
All right. I get to wait here like an idiot while my grapple recharges.
Crane gets really excited even though it's been a whole 10 seconds since he was told where it was.
So none of this part requires either of us to be in the same place. So I can just start climbing the tower. Meanwhile, he's doing all the main story objectives.
So I'm distracting all the zombies with firecrackers because it's easier to have them off my back than to kill them.
This tower is the one we mentioned earlier where you basically cannot grapple. There is one place in the entire tower where you can grapple.
Right here.
Okay.
That's it.
So there's something fun. That guy just smacked me and I saw it coming from a mile away. So something fun about this this animation that I'm about to do. If a zombie hits me at any time, I have to redo the entire thing, which includes reopening the box. So they just assume that you were like, hey, you got hit, close the box.
Well, zombie closed it for you, man.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just nice. It's common courtesy.
So I have a bunch of grenades. I haven't been using them through the run. Might as well use them here.
But you're gonna run out of your 16,000 grenades.
Oh no.
I mean, we did try to find a way to no delay it in practice.
This,
Probably fine.
Yeah, probably fine.
Sadly, you can't animation cancel grenades.
Yeah. Oh, I never mentioned animation canceling. It's a small thing. Whenever I use a speed booster, I cancel to the grapple hook and then try to use it, and that cancels out the remaining animation of the speed booster. We've been doing that all run, and just we never mentioned it because it's really easy.
Yeah. Really minor speed tech, but it does make a big difference. And here we're supposed to go back through even more sewers, but instead of that, we're just going to warp to the end and go through the end and then come back out, and it's going to count. So
yeah, it's really nice that there are no actual triggers to hit in there. It's just the end one. Hooray, loading. It kills me.
Everyone's favorite.
I know, it's great. Oof, that load takes a long time.
Crane also just punches a metal gate and it opens for him with no consequences. Just don't worry about it.
All that reminds me of is like in Mirror's Edge when you're running and you like slam your forearm into the door. All I could think of is, man, you will break your forearms after about 2 minutes of that.
Absolutely.
You wouldn't have forearms at that point. Like, they'd just be gone.
All right. So coming up is probably the most boring part of the run, but there are at least cool things in it to make it more exciting. The clinic has a bunch of dialogue that's going to run through the entire time that we have to wait through, that there's nothing we can do, but it's only about a 5-6 minute area, so it's not too bad. Plenty of time for donations right now, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, during that time in the clinic, I encourage viewers to donate. We'll play a little game, leave a PS in your comment, and we'll play... Did you actually write that, or did Prolix make it up? Okay. Get your donations in now, folks. It's all for charity. All right. We have a donation of $40 here from Escape Room Herndon, who says, Dying Light was one of my favorite co-op experiences, and it's so much fun to see it done so quickly. Thank you to all the runners and everyone else involved for everything you're doing for such a good cause.
Oops.
Hey,
Kind of launched that a little bit.
I'm going to show off a fun animation.
Oh, yeah.
That is the drop kick ability.
Crane's,
Just ridiculous.
Crane's great.
That's not like he's doing a glitch or anything. That's just actually how it is.
Yeah, run, sprint, jump, press E.
And just fall.
Yep.
Just interrupt me if you need to. I have another $40 donation here from Helsing Fan, who says, thank you to all the runners who helped put on a great show for this event. My mom just started chemotherapy today, actually, and I hope that someday we can all beat cancer together. Thank you, Helsing Fan, and we wish your mother well. And then just speaking of the donations again, a note about the prizes available right now. There's that entry-level gaming PC.
What? What?
Oops.
Okay.
You might have to.
What are you doing?
You might have to death warp.
Yep.
How did you do that?
How do you... What?
We're learning so much today. Again, I don't think that has ever happened.
I mean, I've never grappled there before. So.
Also, Funcat is out of bounds.
Yep. Just
I know he's
climb
back in
out
bounds.
here to hit the other important
Where am I?
triggers.
Here.
Anyway, sorry. You were going to say Prolix.
You were saying.
I mean, the real prize here is us all just being able to watch this run. That's the message. Is it too late for, like, 'tis the season type of thing? Okay, yeah. The message of the season is, the run is the true gift. We have a $150 donation from Scribs J, who says, hello, AGDQ. Looking forward to the horror game block. Good luck to the runners. Let's beat cancer while playing games. Thank you. But yeah, prizes. So the $150, speaking of, will get you an entry for that 8th generation console bundle. We have the entry-level gaming PC available for $40 right now, and just a little bit of time left to donate $50 or more and get that Octopus AGDQ banner. It has some very dadly art on it. I love LLK's design. So
Having fun, Amy?
I'm having so much fun. So here's the thing about dropkick. It doesn't gain your melee bonus. So he dropkicks him real hard and then doesn't kill him.
Yeah, Crane is not very good at dropkicking, is he?
There you go.
Hey.
Nice. Not
Nope,
dead.
he's not dead.
You can just keep going.
Also, I'm back out of bounds. Just kind of climb up there again. Doing what we've been doing the past couple minutes is actually the fastest thing, though. Funny enough.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dialogue.
You'll notice that anytime I step out of this room, the objective switches back to here, which means we have to stand in this room and listen to Camden talk to us.
Yep. And I'm actually trying to hit this lab storage trigger. There we go. You can get it early, but it's a little bit harder. I don't know exactly where you need to be or what you need to do, but it just works sometimes, and other times it doesn't. Once I hit those 3 buttons, you just have to wait a little bit longer.
Please don't clip through the wall again.
Yeah, that would actually be a bad idea. I'll try not to. I'll do my best.
Amy, you're especially good at clipping today, aren't you?
Apparently.
Unfortunately, you're a bit too good at it.
So now the zombies are going to have a little bit of a rave. Dance
Maybe we can
party.
show off our new dance move. We're not swimming, but, it's a rave, so.
Close enough. So if
Drop kick.
Or you can just drop duct tape.
Good enough.
I just vaulted on you instead of kicking you. Whoops.
Oh well.
You tried.
Kick your partner?
I mean, you know,
It's another spot where you can actually climb out of bounds,
got to show it off
of course,
for the swag.
and then hit the trigger from the top. But don't worry, I'm still here.
Yeah. So that's the clinic, thankfully over, and we're about 3 minutes from the end of the run. There's not much left.
Unfortunately, you don't get to do the finale, which at least gives closure to the run, but
Albeit not amazing closure.
wait, you don't like QTE bosses?
J'ai vu Camden. Il a étudié les échantillons de tissu.
Yeah, the final boss is just a series of quick time events, and it's not fun.
Yeah.
But French Rise, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Luckily, we do still have some tricks left to speed up this last little bit.
Yeah. So this was like a big problem point for us for a while. We're supposed to go through 2 pretty long phone calls, and as you saw earlier in the run, we can skip phone calls by dying. But this is really precise to get, and no, missed it. There we go.
The first one isn't that bad.
Yeah, the first one is okay. I'm in. Yep.
Okay, if I back out enough on here, I can throw a grenade in, even though it is a safe area.
Troy,
Yeah.
j'ai donné les
And this Death
échantillons au
Warp
Dr. Camden. Je vais discuter avec
brings
le
us back
GR
to
maintenant.
the safe zone that was nearest to us.
Je t'appelle plus tard, Troy.
We used to have to go back to the tower in tandem and then do another Death Warp, only this time the actual trigger to throw a grenade is limited even more.
Yeah.
And so it was a huge pain and not consistent in any way. So instead, because of that same mechanic we used to skip the GRE call back in the tower, he can actually just run up here by himself, hit the call.
Hello? Okay.
Also,
All right, I'm
There we
in.
go. And then warp over to me.
Ici Crane, vous m'entendez?
We'll skip the first part here.
And we're
next part.
not just moving slow to move slow. It actually does restrict your movement in that way.
The game still thinks we're in the first phone call, but now that we've skipped the second one, we are completely done. And the time is coming up once
Yeah.
once we both hit the red door, which is very soon.
Yeah. It's done pretty well. Besides sewers, I don't think anything went really wrong.
And
Yeah.
the stash.
Okay, but like that wasn't our fault technically.
Fair.
I mean, you also
I'm gonna blame
did
the game.
clip through an elevator.
Okay, again, not my fault.
That is not true. That was completely your fault.
Listen, Crane's just not bound by mortal humans.
Collision.
Yeah.
Collision has no effect on him.
Time's coming up in a second, though.
All right. Ready? And
Time.
Time.
RTA was 132.02.
Wow.
What's
That
that?
was like really, really close to world record.
yeah, actually. Yeah, actually.
With all those mistakes even.
The save file normally starts at a 23 for me, and I moved around a little bit before, so it's probably like a 24. So
Yeah.
it's probably a 123, which is extremely close to our PB.
Yeah. World record is a 122.
2.
Yeah.
122.
And RTA is a 131. So that was like really good.
Yeah.
Without-
Well done.
So.
And before we go off, can we actually get self-applause to the crowd? Thank you guys for cooperating during the competitions. Thank you all. Amerlin redeemed himself as well. Give a round of applause for Amerlin. 2 out of 3 wins for Fun Cannon. Anyway.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thanks.
One more time for Amerlin and the Fun Cannon, please, everybody.